Replicon Radio. Replicon Radio. Talking shit with the juggalos on Replicon Radio. Giving a lesson, don't be a bitch. Replicon Radio. Yeah. This is Replicon Radio.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's where you're at. That's where we are. That's what we're doing.
That's not nice, Heather.
That's not nice. Don't you dare tell your mom what we're doing here. That intro was not played today.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I thought you were going to cut right in the middle of the Columbus intro and play that.
If it was like actually cut out, maybe I would do that. But the fact that I have to like play it off. Of
I thought you cut it out.
Yeah. I just had it queued up for our Patreon show we did over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to worry about playing other things.
Yeah.
There was no dope ass playlist or anything during that episode, so I didn't have to worry about that. All that.
You didn't have to worry about,
Yeah, no.
I didn't have to worry about it.
The
things that I have to worry about, I did not have to worry about that time.
Just carefree, man.
Carefree Patreon episodes that you all missed if you're not a Patreon.
It probably missed even if you are a Patreon.
Some of you may, but they can still watch it. This one didn't get demonetized because, or pulled, actually. Not even demonetized. We don't care about that. Just usually it's yanked because we play all kinds of shit. That didn't happen this time. So our Patreons still get to enjoy it.
Definitely not a family-friendly episode, though, so I don't think we're going to get those ad monetizations.
No. Well, no, I mean, we don't have enough people watching.
Well, I mean, we can get like that 100th of a fraction of a penny.
That's true.
Yeah.
It adds up after 100 years.
It does. We might have a penny.
I think $1. 100 years we get $1. I mean, that's purely speculation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that much, but maybe. But yeah, man, we're live. We're here. We're doing it. We appreciate all the people tuned in over at repliconradio.com that were enjoying the awesome playlist pre-show, dancing, sliding across the kitchen floors. You didn't hear one song. It could have been all your favorites. It was like a West Coast medley of Snoop and Parliament and bunch of people with ice in their name.
Oh yeah? Vanilla Ice, Ice Cube, Ice T.
Yep.
Ice Tray.
I didn't play any of that actually, but I could have, and you wouldn't know.
Ice Box.
I did play one of your favorites though, brand new single from Glitter Money.
Oh hell yeah, there you go.
Didn't think you'd hear that name again.
Glitter Money.
I followed him, bitch.
Do you think they would be quiet during an election year? Hell no.
Right. That's true. But yeah,
that's right, Heather.
So that was fun. That was fun, man. But yeah, we're back. We're here. We're doing it. What's up, YouTube? Popping in over the YouTube chat.
Hello, YouTube.
Holding it down.
Hello, YouTube.
Brian Easter says, whoop, whoop, fucking job. Keith Green, what's up from Alabama? PJ's just looking around, watching. That's what we do, man. I think he just likes the title of the YouTube thing. So if you guys listen, the full episodes are available on streaming for anybody that does watch the YouTube. It's just cut into pieces because YouTube makes us do that. But tonight on the show, if you're listening to the live stream, you don't have to adjust anything. If you're on YouTube, there'll be a new stream because we got Blaze Your Dead Homie on the program later tonight.
Who?
Blaze! Your dead homie. I'm pretty sure he's still your dead homie, right? Did he drop the dead homie part?
I think he's just Blaze nowadays.
Like when Oxide dropped the child because he got a little older. Did Blaze?
He got a little more live.
Is he? Is it? I think he's still dead. I'm pretty sure his second single off the new album is called I'm Dead.
Yeah.
And it's actually Fuck It, I'm Dead. They just didn't market it as Fuck It. So he's still dead. I guess he's just not your homie anymore.
No. He said, fuck you, I ain't your homie, but I'm still dead. Blaze!
He's
dead
still,
homie.
He's still Blaze. He's still your dead homie. He's still my homie. We're excited to have him back. That's going to be coming up later tonight, so stay tuned for that action. But we mentioned it the other day. I definitely
Colton Grundy.
Colton Grundy. Is his name Colt?
Yeah, and he's Grundy.
That's his real name, Colt.
Yeah,
that's fun.
And he's Grundy.
No, that's true, but he could be a little Grundy though.
He's a fucking casket maker too. Bet you didn't know that.
He is inside of a casket factory.
That's right. You didn't know any of that, did you?
I didn't.
And he still is one less G in the hood.
Yeah. Well, because he's still dead.
Right.
Whew.
Dropping that history on you folks.
Blowing minds over here.
100, man. So we've been talking about I've been telling you guys about the ICP House Party Peep Show event that's been going on all month.
Been keeping us updated.
Yeah, I paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been watching it. I've been enjoying it.
I've been enjoying the updates.
I highly enjoyed it so far.
What are we talking about?
The ICP month-long deal.
This is what you've been looking forward to this whole evening.
Even pre-show, I was like, we're going to talk about this. He's like, I don't want to talk about this shit.
I don't want to talk about
But
that
I get
shit.
it. But a lot of people don't want to talk about it because of it's.
I don't want to. I just don't want to bring the shit
the people
up.
But we didn't bring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're bringing it up now because that's what they're talking about because they brought it up.
Well, they were doing a Q&A.
So you report on the
got
news.
Asked a question.
Yeah.
We're just talking about
that's
them
old
talking
shit.
about it.
We
Well, there's
don't
more.
need to
It's not
talk
just
about
that portion of it, though. There's more to it. And I've been talking about it every week. Even I've been saying how great it is. So when something bad happens and now everybody else is going to talk about it, doesn't mean we're not going to. Just because we don't normally talk about bullshit doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it when it's current. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it's not current.
well, it just happened. But anyway, I'm going to get
just
into
finally
it.
feel comfortable talking about it and without getting their asses kicked.
But they don't.
I don't know.
Let's see. Well, I want to talk about it because I want to hear y'all's opinions and I want to hear the people in the chat opinions too. Well, first of all, so they're doing it every week. This week they did the
PJ.
the shoot interview with Chris Hansen, which overall was really dope. I thought it was
Is
cool.
that one of the Hanson brothers?
No, it's the dude from fucking To Catch a Predator.
Just fucking.
That's
Why
the
don't you
Hanson
pull
uncle.
up a seat and grab a cookie?
It's the Hansen uncle.
Right. I got you.
But I thought it was dope. They got him to come and do that. It's a pretty cool thing. The questions were submitted in by the Juggalos that were that purchased, but then they were also filtered.
Hold
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
What question did you ask?
I asked a bunch of questions, none of which got answered.
Of course.
One of them should have been answered. So this whole thing kind of it was like half good, half fucking annoying. You know what I mean? Because it was dope. The concept was dope. Some of the questions you're like, oh shit, that's cool. They're talking about that or discussing this and yada yada yada. And some of it was like, you're full of shit. You know?
That someone would have been him.
Well, he had a lot of apparently everyone else on the internet fucking an hour later because the fucking Juggalo internet was like.
So it wasn't just you.
Well, first of all, they did the before I even get into all that craziness, they did the old school tour episode. There was a separate episode they did this week where they went around to like their old offices, most of which they weren't allowed in or were tore down, which is weird. But then they went around the new office. They went to their old homes. They went to like Picker Forest, the road, the Fago factory, a bunch of different like spots. They went to Zug Island, the actual like factory area.
That's cool.
It was dope. And then they went to where the Dog Beats album was shot. They stood in the exact place.
Is the tire swing still there?
The rope was still attached to the tree until they announced it. Until that aired, someone went and stole it. It's been there for 30 fucking years. And they were like, do not fucking go. It's like, that's fucking amazing. The rope, it's the tire's not, but the string is still in the branch directly above. There's like probably 4 inches hanging off. Still tied in the same spot for 30 fucking years. And they're like, please don't go. That's so fresh. And then, according, I haven't been there, obviously. It was aired like 2 days ago. But according to the internet, it's gone.
What a pieces of shit,
like,
man.
that's fucked up, man. Like,
come on.
I mean, I get wanting to have it, but it's like, dude, it's been there this long. It's not like it's something that happened yesterday and they forgot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That motherfucker's been hanging in that tree for 30 fucking years, man.
Juggalos don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Put that shit on eBay for $18,000.
Pieces of shit, man.
P just said, "Don't be scared, bro." What
He
up,
said that a
Andre?
long time ago.
Oh, I just looked at the
Fuck
chat.
you, been.
Not looking at the chat. What up, little
What up, little Romeo? Play Romeo.
Yo, what
too
up?
While you was at it? Shut up.
But yeah, so that happened. That shit sucked. That somebody apparently took it. But so then they into the shoot interview. So I'm gonna try to break this down quick. So the very first question that Chris Hansen asked was, what is your? He asked Jay and Shaggy. It was Jay, Shaggy, Billy, Bill, and Jumpsteady. But he just asked Jay and Shaggy this question: what was your biggest regret thus far? And Shaggy started talking about being an alcoholic. He's like, I fucked up a lot of shit for us. I've fucked up shows. I fucked up opportunities. Like, it was like a
Pretty sure Jay did enough of that on his own.
It was like a serious. I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, he was really getting into it, like being honest. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So then they go to Jay, and I'm like, he's gonna talk about the fucking pills. He's gonna talk about his goddamn pill addiction. Finally,
Nope.
this motherfucker said Ray Day. You remember Ray Day? Like 20 years ago when they asked Juggalos to buy an extra copy of Bizarre Bazaar.
Apparently, I lost Ray Day too.
What
bro.
that's your biggest regret ever? I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, you mother, like, I was mad. Like, this mother, like, your best friend just talked about his alcohol issues, and you just said your biggest regret was a one-day event. You asked Juggalos to go buy an extra copy of Bizarre Bazaar, and they got a free fucking, that was when you got the Ray Day CD, which had like a trivia game on it, and you got Shaggy Show. That's when the Shaggy Show was still fucking dial-up. So getting a DVD version of it was pretty badass. Because you fucking take you 3 hours to watch a 5-minute
Is that
episode.
really a regret?
Even fucking Chris Hansen was like, so why do you regret it? He said, his reason behind it was he regretted it because it looked like it was like a tactic to make more money.
He regretted it.
Sure.
He regrets it.
I don't know what the difference is, but I'm...
With all the shit that they've done money grabs for over the years,
That's
the one.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
5 copies of the same album with the different covers, fine. But we asked you to purchase an extra copy of our CD and give it away to a friend. They wanted an ICP to grow. That was the goal. So people hadn't heard of it because they're underground.
That actually sounds like a great idea. Like,
that's what he said. We thought it was a great idea, but then it looked like a money grab. Like, that's actually a great idea.
So why didn't they do it? Why didn't they do it? Buy one, get one, so you can give one to a friend.
They could have done that. Maybe they didn't think about it. But either way, it was like, I was like, this is stupid. I thought we were telling the truth here. You know what I mean? Like, that just it immediately made me mad. Like, I was like, but whatever. I digress. That's what, you know what I mean? The longer I watch
How is that a regret? You can't control that.
Well, it was their idea, so he regretted it because it was their idea.
Well, oh my God.
Trust me, I'm not sticking up for him. I'm just saying that was
so yeah,
his.
out of all the fucking bullshit that has gone down in
So
this,
then that's when I immediately
in
started
this
putting
time.
questions into the question crew. So I was like, what about the fucking pill addiction? Really? Ray Day? Ray Day? Like, I was like yelling at the fucking, I'm in my car, you know what I mean? I got my phone up here on the dash doing fucking deliveries. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, really? Like, your boy just spilled his guts about being an alcoholic, and you're concerned about fucking people buying an extra copy of your album? Like, I have fucking information about your problems. Like, I personally have. Like, God.
So then you regret the 4 covers of what it was, Bang Pow Boom, or 3 covers there. You regret the 4 covers of Mighty Death Pop. So you regret making The Wraith and Hell's Pit 2 different albums.
Well, I don't know.
We're not even going to talk about the whole album, The Calm.
You regret making...
That should be a regret.
That should be a regret.
We made a bad EP.
Yeah.
That's regretful. Not asking people to do us like... But anyway, that's nothing. We're not even... I'm talking about the light stuff first, okay?
He's already mad.
I mean, you just make yourself sound so fucking stupid. Like, still fucking stupid. It ain't even just like starting to sound stupid. He's been sounding stupid for a long time now.
No.
Like, that dude's literally
weird.
lost his fucking marbles,
if you guys,
man.
anybody out there that hasn't watched this, the shoot interview.
Sorry, Jay, if you're listening, man, but you lost your fucking marbles, bro. Can you get them back so I can get back into fucking listening to you guys?
Look, there's more to this. At least this is just like, I mean, obviously they said this, but the things I say about it's my opinion. But there's more to it, man. Because I'm not gonna lie. At the end of this, even though I was mad, I kind of felt sorry for
family,
Jay.
bro. Still family, but fuck.
I mean,
come on.
I obviously
your
I love
brother's
ICP
telling
and
you to
shit, but I'm
fucking
like, fuck, man.
straighten up, get your marbles back.
So they talked about. I don't want to get to the Twiztid shit yet because that's gonna be the big cut of the beef. They mentioned Mikey Clark briefly because people asked, they wanted to work with Mikey Clark. basically they said we love Mikey Clark. He's super busy doing the Kid Rock thing. He doesn't
Kid
really,
Rock, you know what
I mean? Kid Rock pays him more. He doesn't have a lot of time for us, but he's still the homie. They said that they did mention the Mikey Clark is on the new album, several tracks, but they're old beats that they got from Mikey Clark in the past. So they got like a computer full of fucking beats that they didn't use before, and they used some on the new album. So they're not actually working with Mike currently. They just are using production they got in the past. And then Jumpsteady made sure to jump in and mention that Mikey Clark no-showed on The Gathering 3 times when he booked him and just tried to make him look bad. I guess I should disclaim this first. I like Jumpsteady. Never had a problem with him. He's a really nice guy. I sat down and played games with him for hours one night. It's really cool. Him in this video pissed me off a lot. A lot. Just like that. He had to chime in to mention like Mikey Clark was bad when he tried to book him for The Gathering. Then they asked about Alex Abbas. They told the story about Alex wanting to leave because that wasn't his dream. They fulfilled their goals. He wanted to move on, and then the whole thing with his house getting shot. Do you remember this?
Yep.
When all that shit happened?
Yep.
And then they talked about the money, and this is when the issue aligned. Like, they think that him getting shot at his house was fake, and he did it himself. Had his brother do it, because him and his brother didn't used to get along, and his brother was there when it all went down to get out. And then he left. He said, "We have $3 million in the bank." He gave Jay $1 million, Shaggy $1 million, and kept himself $1 million. They're like, well, what about Billy? Billy's a dime. So then he ended up paying Billy. And they're like, well, where'd the extra money come from? They said Alex used to like hoard boxes of money in his attic and all kinds of shit. And they thought it was just weird that they had an even amount of money, even though all of a sudden there was more for Billy. And then Alex just disappeared, said no one could know where he was or where he went. Right. And that was the end of it. And then they said they didn't think they would be able to survive without Alex. Yada yada yada. A year later, they had $3 million back in the bank and were doing bigger and better, even though Alex was there for like the prime. So they're pretty sure he stole millions and millions of dollars, but that's purely speculation. They said they haven't talked to him since, even though I remember like 2 years ago, Jumpsteady was on the Juggalo show talking about how he was at a gaming convention trying to promote Dark Carnival games, and Alex came and visited him, and they hung out all weekend and had a great time. But he didn't mention that on the shoot interview because they were only telling the truth on the shoot interview.
Except about the regrets.
I mean, whatever. But maybe that really is his regret, because when you're delusional, you don't know. Or you just, if you're unwilling to admit that you have a pill problem, then you can't say it's a regret. I don't know. What else? Alex Abbas. I think that's it. And then they started talking about Twiztid. So Chris Hansen says, obviously they had to. That was like the people would vote on the questions, and that was like top of the list the whole fucking time. They're like, so what's up with the? Is there? I can't remember how you worded it. Like, is Twiztid is innocent as they claim to be, or something along those lines?
Yeah.
And Chris Hansen doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just reading questions. He doesn't know the history of anything. They even called him out once to make Twiztid look bad, because they were like. So basically, they asked about Twiztid. Shaggy started. He's like, so what's wrong? Like, what did they do? What's wrong with them? And the only thing Shaggy. Oh yeah, KG. You're right. I forgot about that part. They told the KG story too. I'll get to that after Twiztid if we have time. But so Shaggy was like, oh, they're just evil. They're just like, he didn't have a reason what they did. He just said, oh, they're just evil. They're just bad. And he mentioned this. I thought was funny. Shaggy mentioned they've tried to reach out to me personally several times on social media, as if I'm not part of the group or something. Like Twiztid and M&E have tried to reach out to Shaggy because it's their homie. But he did mention that. What up, Oda Horror? In the chat.
Yo, what up?
What up, hookers?
Like, I really want you. If you guys haven't seen it, I really want you to watch it. For people that have seen it, I want to see your comments and shit. But
you don't hear my comments. Go on.
Well, I can't. You know, I mean, they went on for like, it was like a 40-minute segment of the shows where they talked about Twiztid. So I'm not going to be able to touch on all of it. But I'm just going to tell you what my notes are here. So the Shaggy thing, he was like, they tried to reach out to me. So here's the thing, that the biggest thing that I caught, this is my personal, what I was catching from this. Jay was saying really nice fucking things about Twiztid. Like he was like, no, they fucking, you know what I mean? He was like, no, they boned us. They, you know, they disrespected us, yada, yada, yada. But he was like, he was talking about their history to Chris Hansen, because Chris, you know, he's trying to explain the story. He's like, you know,
he tried to learn Chris.
He's like, we brought these guys up. We came up, you know, they were a dope group doing shit, House of Crazies, and then this happened, and they're like, we came up with this dope name, and it's a super dope fucking name, Twiztid. It's spelled different. You know, like he was hype about it. It was weird watching him, because he was like, it was almost like he was reselling Twiztid to me, you know. And he was like, and then they make fucking great ass fucking music. And he's like, and they're fucking electrifying on stage. He's like, they're so dope. He's like, and then this shit happened. You know what I mean? Like he was going on about how fucking dope they are. Rob kept cutting them off, telling them how they're not dope. Like there was literally a point where he was like,
wait, Jay, no, they're not dope, bro.
There was literally, he was like, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't pay attention. You know what I mean? He's like, I literally don't pay attention to what they're doing now. I don't know what they're doing.
Maybe he needs to fucking
and he
start
was like,
and learn something.
He was like, but I assume he's like, people are listening, so I assume their music's probably still good. We're just not fucking with them. Rob's like, no, it's not. It's not. People don't like it. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like it literally seemed like everything. Like there was a point where Rob was cutting them off. Like they were telling stories that were like positive, and he's like, no, let me talk. I'm like, who the fuck are you? You're the dude's brother. Like, I know Rob does a lot of things, man, but I was like, dude, and like, Violent J kept talking about how he doesn't know. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know what they're up to now. I don't know, you know, what they're saying or what, you know what I mean? But then he was like, but they're doing this. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know what they're doing if you don't pay attention? It's because it's what Rob told him. It's like, literally watching this thing, this is my opinion, I could be completely out of line. It felt like Violent J was like, he's still upset about them. He was mad about them leaving, and he talks about that, and he tells them the same shit he said in the Fagel Lovers interview. Like, you know, they said they were leaving. We were like, no, you know, and then they're like, okay, we'll just keep the Hatchet Man. Do your own thing. Keep the Hatchet Man. Keep the family alive. Don't let the Juggalos know, but do your own thing. Like he brought all this stuff back up again. He was like, I get that they want to leave. I don't want them to leave, but I get it. You know what I mean? They said they took it a little further in this interview.
Well, then why are you going to be a fucking asshole and talk a bunch of fucking shit when they do leave?
Well, that's what he's.
I guess you're getting to that, ain't you?
Well, literally the whole thing, like a lot of things were said. A lot of things were said, and it literally all goes back down to the fucking Young Wicked thing. That was the thing that.
Well, they were talking shit before Young Wicked even jumped aboard.
Well, according to them, they weren't.
Fuck out of here.
Just saying.
Go back.
They're like, we supported it. We didn't want them to go, but we supported it. And then
he was on stage at the fucking seminar talking shit the year after they fucking left.
Yeah.
So what the fuck you mean you did? Yeah.
How long are they going to be butthurt over two consenting adults getting together?
Forever.
Get the fuck over it, man.
That'll never happen.
But even like, I get it. Like it's weird to watch. Like it's so strange because I try to understand things from everybody's side, right?
Right. I do too.
The one, like I understand it. You know what I mean, Rob. The one thing, I don't even know how to explain this properly. It's like watching this whole thing, and I still feel like I'm dissing on Rob so hard again, but maybe I just didn't. Like every time I ever met him, he's been super cool. I don't want to feel like I'm dissing him, but like they did another episode where they were supposed to do road stories. Majority of the stories are about fights on the road, which are kind of funny and entertaining to hear, right? But one thing that kept coming up was like this fucking arrogance, man, and they feel like they're better than people, right? Like Rob was telling a story about they got in a fight with this dude in a restaurant. There at a table, like 20 of them on tour, and there was a dude and his chick there, and the dude was like weird. He was like a cuckold, and he was talking to the end of the table about fucking his wife.
He was a what?
A cuckold. Google it.
I thought you said kickled. I was like, what the fuck is a kick?
No, it was a guy that used to, like support our show or whatever. Cuckold. But so he was like talking to that end of the table about fucking his wife because that's the shit he's into. You know, and like it became a weird conversation. Like the whole table kind of started talking about like what a weirdo, blah blah blah, whatever. But the guy wasn't like aggressive or anything. This is their story. I wasn't there. I'm listening to them tell the story, but they're like he wasn't aggressive or nothing. It was just funny. They're like, oh, that's weird. He wants people to fuck his wife, and like Jay was into the idea of it or whatever, and they were kind of laughing at Jay. And the dude just got up. And they were like having friendly conversation, and he walked up behind Jumpsteady and like put his hands on his shoulder. Was like, yeah, buddy, you know, or something stupid. Like, you know, I get it. You don't fucking touch people. But he was like, you don't fucking touch me. And he's like, I picked that dude up and put him up against the wall. I was like screaming and holler at him. And then the dude like fought back. So then they decided to jump him. They're like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I'm like, who? And I was like, who do you think you are?
Right.
You're a random guy in a restaurant fucking throwing a man against the wall because he touched you in a friendly manner.
Right.
Like, I understand you don't like people touching you, but you think you're higher than him. Like, a lot of the shit stories they tell, you get this idea where they're above. Other people can't do things onto them. You know what I mean? Especially Rob, it seemed like. Like, that's why you had to go. Oh, you did something bad to me, or you made me feel a certain way, so now you're fucked. Like, they had this guy, so they told the story. They had one guy surrounded. Yeah. And they're like, the guy he came out and was like, dude, what the fuck? And Rob's telling the story and was like, he's like, I respect you coming out here and standing up for yourself. So you're allowed to go back in. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are telling that guy he's allowed to do fucking anything? Because there's 15 of you? Like, you arrogant cocksucker.
Yeah,
like,
he's a pussy and he had to have fucking 20 other fucking people out there for him to react and fucking do something. If that little motherfucker was by himself, he wouldn't have done shit. That's the shit that fucking pisses me off about fucking people.
Maybe he would have.
You're only tough when you have 20 fucking people having your fucking back. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree.
This motherfucker's got to ride his brother's fucking coattails to get a fucking name out there. That's the shit that fucking pisses me off.
That might be why. I don't know the reason why, but I 100% get the idea that he just
has some fucking decency and some fucking respect for somebody.
But see, then I go back to this interview, and he's cutting off his brother. He's cutting off Shaggy. So this
cut off the people that you're fucking riding their coattails are that gave you a fucking job.
Because he has his own agenda. He has a chip on his shoulder, and they did him wrong. And I get that he felt he was disrespected. I get it.
That's
I understand
fine, but it's not his story to fucking tell.
But it's not. Even if it is his story, it's not his whole life. Just because he's
not his October Patreon.
It's not. It's not that.
Not him.
Like, there was literally a point where he was like, "Shut up, let me talk." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Right.
This isn't Jumpsteady's. Yeah, exactly. It's not Jumpsteady's Peep Show live. It's Insane Clown Posse. And I've never had a problem with Rob in my life, but like watching this, especially over time. You know what I mean? If it was just the one thing, I might not even notice. But it was like over time, I'm like, you just have this thought in your head that you're better. So if you have that thought, so then I'm like, okay, they think all these things about Twiztid.
Wait.
And they're not necessarily wrong because they think they're better. So
hold on,
that's where the wrong starts. You think you're better than someone. So if they're trying to better themselves, but it's not to help you, then they're doing something wrong because you're the top dog. How can you want to do something without us? Then you're dumb.
Can we go back to the restaurant?
Sure.
So they all were having a conversation with this gentleman and his girlfriend or wife or whoever, right? Everybody was talking, friendly conversation, correct? And it's probably about a 20-minute conversation, maybe longer, right?
I would guess, yeah. They ate.
Sure.
They ate a whole meal.
So knowing that you've already had a conversation with this fucking dude, at that point, there's no reason to put your fucking hands on him. Because he felt comfortable enough that you guys sat and apparently asked some personal fucking questions about banging his fucking
they even
wife.
said, you don't touch Rob. Because that guy knew that.
Well, he didn't know.
The random stranger that's being friendly with you knew that.
He didn't know it until he touched him.
Yeah. But there's no reason to get that aggressive.
No.
Like, you just like, hey, bud, I don't know you like that. Exactly. And then if it would have got out of hand or something, or the guy would have got ignorant, maybe there could have been a fight. You know what I mean? But he was like, no, the dude touched me. I hopped out my chair military style, like threw him against the wall. I was like, who the fuck do you think you are?
But
like,
even still, they don't need to be jumping people. That's bitch shit.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it is bitch shit. But I mean, I get it.
But you're
I get it.
Even
when
listen to the story, I'm like, you're the one that you caused the fight. The guy was friendly. You caused the fight, and then he stuck up for himself against 15 people.
I mean, I had the same incident kind of happen to me when we were down at Texas A&M for the college football game in Texas A&M. And dude actually grabbed my fucking hat and turned it around. I told him I could have fucking hit him. I could have fucking grabbed him up and I could have hit him, but I told him, I said, don't fucking touch me. Don't touch my hat. Don't touch me. Don't.
That should have been the first.
That's all I said. That's all I said. So that's how you handle a situation.
Yeah. And we all know how hot-headed you are.
Right. I mean, absolutely. Especially, like, I didn't know this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've been talking with him, like, well, the people I was with was kind of talking to him all weekend. And it happened to be, like, I guess it was Saturday right before the fucking game started. He wanted to get a picture of everybody. And so he grabbed my fucking hat and he used to turn the fucking hat around. I said, you ever fucking touch me again, I'm gonna fucking hit you. I said, don't fucking touch me, don't touch my fucking hat.
Yeah.
And he left it at that. You know, he apologized, and that was it. I could have fucking hit him. I could have fucking dropped an old man.
Yeah.
But there's no need for it. I ain't trying to go to jail. I'm trying to have a good fucking time at a fucking game, you know? I'm trying to get my ass back on the road to get home again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I understand a stranger putting a hand on somebody, you get the fuck out. You're getting hot.
To an
I
extent.
get it.
But
Like
not,
I've had people aggressively get in my face trying to fight me, and I go, "Hey man, you need to get the fuck out of my face," because like.
But that sounds like that's the only reason why he did it is because he had people on his
it
back.
was a friendly. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, it's his story. You know what I'm saying? But it sounded like a friendly
it's
encounter.
not
He probably thought the guy was weird because he was trying to get people to fuck his wife.
Sure.
So he had something in his head. You know what I mean? But other than that, from what they were saying, it was a friendly conversation. There was nothing aggressive going on at all until Rob jumped up
Right.
and threw the man against the wall. You know what I mean?
Now, why didn't any of them go, "Hey man, but why don't you chill out a little bit, just a little bit"?
Yeah.
You know, he don't touch him, bro. But why don't you chill out? Just chill out a little bit, man. They gotta have each other in check at some point. Like
you would think, right?
I mean, that's what homies are for. I mean, to go, hey, he was just playing,
You
man.
got each other's
it's cool.
back, but
Yeah,
you
like
also have to put each other.
yeah, like hey, man, like there ain't no cause for this. You don't really need, and not surrounding them outside, fucking let's beat
because
his
we're
ass.
fucking juggalos, and that's not what we do. That's
We
not how
steal
we
30-year-old
handle
ropes,
situations.
bitch.
right.
We just knock motherfuckers out. That's what we do.
But like, there was just so much. Like, I want everybody to watch it because maybe I'm just seeing things I didn't. But like, I literally wrote down.
From what you say, I
Word
mean,
of my
it sounds like a dick move.
Like, this is what I wrote down in my own notes.
I've seen this on Rob before, like him controlling and like because somebody did in his mind did him wrong for doing something completely of what he didn't want. I mean, I've seen this like when they did the Juggalo show and all that stuff. Like anytime he'd be talking, I mean, he would have this arrogance about him that he would be so angry about anybody that he feels that did him wrong, even though if they did or not.
Can we get Rob on the show so we can clarify this? I mean, that'd
I
be
would love
fucking
to.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, I would enjoy talking to him.
I mean, from what I've heard,
Too,
he's a
like I
nice
said,
guy.
I've never had a bad thought about Rob. Like I've sat there at Andy's house and we played.
I mean, the
we
good
played
thoughts.
weird ass not video game, like card games, and like him and Rachel and a bunch of other people. Like had a great time. He's a super cool guy. He's like 100% sober. He's been sober his whole life. Like he seems like an all around good dude. But watching this, it's just like you got this chip on your shoulder and you're spreading it.
I mean, maybe he was just tired of being on the road. He was tired, didn't get a whole lot of sleep, and he just snapped. That's a very good
situation. I'm just talking about in general, like the whole.
Yeah.
Watching him tell the stories about it, he still has that. He's still right.
He's still amped up about it.
Like everything he said, he's right. Like he's correct about it.
He never.
If somebody did wrong, then he's right. There's no other way around it. There's no maybe this is what happened. There's no.
I mean,
and then he's telling like this. Look where I wrote down. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wrote
all
down.
the good encounters with him outweigh the bad encounters.
I wrote down
so.
Rob is controlling the beef, maybe in my point of view, but it's clearly skewed. Jay is clueless and hurt. Like Jay is hurt. Like everything he talks about Twiztid was like nice. You know what I mean, about the past. And then he was hurt. He didn't, you know what I mean? Like, these are my homies, these are my friends. I built this thing and now they don't want to be a part of it. And then he was even on this thing 2 days ago, whenever it was, he was like, I get it. I understood it. He's like, and then it all went down to the Young Wicked thing. Then they did this. Then they punched us in the face with this shit. This is the end of it. But I feel like Jay doesn't know what the hell's going on anymore. Jay doesn't know what's good or bad. He literally doesn't know what they're doing except for what people tell him. And no one is telling him anything good. Everyone's like, oh, they did this again. They did that again. Or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they put out a fucking Riders album. Nobody tells him when Paul's on fucking live feed for 30 minutes talking about the good old days or how fucking
the good old
ICP
days when Jay punched fucking Madrox.
Well, he did tell that story. But then he also told the story about how Shaggy's his fucking best friend, was his best friend, and he misses him. You know what I mean? He's like, this shit's dumb. Like, but you know, they've thrown some jabs and they admit they throw some jabs. But overall, most of the time,
everybody's throwing jabs.
They're,
I mean,
like Rob kept pointing out. He's like, where did he say? I got it. He said they're bitter and angry because they've been overshadowed their entire life, which hurts their giant ego. They've never compared to ICP. They've never gone gold. They've never gone platinum. No one knows who they are without ICP. Every interview, ICP is mentioned, and that hurts their big giant ego. So they literally do business moves to try and hurt ICP. They've never mentioned ICP as being an influence And if they speak on Insane Clown Posse or their past, they refer to them as the label. I'm like, none of that shit's true.
Maybe a little bit.
Not really, no.
Maybe a little bit.
Which part?
Referred to them as a label.
I mean, they have, but they're not. That's not all they do.
I've heard it quite a few times.
But they talk about, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we did this with ICP and that with ICP. Or back in the day when we were with ICP, they did this. And
I've heard that.
They helped us, and they helped us. Like, they're not just out there pretending they don't exist.
Right. No, for sure.
They're trying to create their own new story. And from what Violent J is saying, he's like, I get it. I understand it. I respect. Like, Violent J reacting to the questions before he's cut off and told not to sounds like how I reacted to the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Right.
I'd much rather have Lotus and Riders and everybody back together in one big happy family. But I also I'd
like to see Wizard of the Hood again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But then you look at it, you're like, look at all the things you've done so far. You know what I mean? Like, none of those things would have happened. We wouldn't have new, you know what I mean? Some of it, I mean, obviously we've talked about it many times with like some of the merch and the ideas. Like, some of it's a little ridiculous, but you wouldn't have any of it. You know what I mean? We might have had 3 more Twiztid albums. We wouldn't have ever had, you know, any of this other stuff. We would have never had these other artists. We wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, anything M&E's done wouldn't have happened. We never would have had Astronomicon. You think they'd be allowed to throw their own convention?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Like, even when they said, we'll let you do whatever you want, they wouldn't have let them do whatever they want.
No.
And that was Twiztid's whole thing is, yeah, maybe they did feel overshadowed because they were. So instead of keeping us here in the shadows, let us go make our own fucking shadow over here or try to make it bigger. You know what I mean? Like, which has got to be hard when you've been 15 years in the shadow.
Yeah.
You started from
and that's where
zero
Twiztid
again.
knows that even if they carry the Hatchet Man with them and they're gone, but they're carrying the Hatchet Man with them, Jay still has control over them. They didn't want any control. They didn't want anybody to have any control over them. They wanted to be in control. They wanted to go and experience and get educated and learn how to do things on their own to see if they can succeed. And they're doing a great fucking job succeeding.
And they're doing let them do it. They're like, we don't bring it up. We don't talk about it. We have to hear because it's a shoot interview. But fucking...
Could you imagine if they would have... allowed some not like a majority control, but like if they would have partnered with them on the label control, like instead of being a hierarchy that I say this and this is what's going to happen, if they would have partnered with them and been like, all right, let's brainstorm some stuff and let's you know, if they would have taken their M&E ideas and, you know, worked with Psychopathic on it, and I mean, obviously this, you know, in a world that never happened,
or even
but
if what they're doing now they just did civilly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
yes, PJ, that I caught that too, man. They made sure to mention that Twiztid never went gold, and then they also mentioned later one of the everybody probably remembers it because it was the biggest thing. Like this, so ICP's straw that broke their back was Young Wicked. Twiztid that made them fucking eventually leave was Abominations. They didn't order enough copies. It was their highest selling record ever. And they didn't sell enough copies.
And they did it on purpose.
Then that's what they're saying. Like, they never won gold or platinum, but they didn't have the opportunity because they didn't have enough albums to sell. Right. They couldn't have. They're like, they probably took that in their perspective. They probably took it as on purpose. I don't know if it was or wasn't. I don't. But
I'm
it's
sure
like Jay said.
I mean,
and maybe it was, and maybe there's shit going on in Psychopathic that Jay didn't even know about because he was because he was literally like, he's like, we made some mistakes. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. He's like, and I know what he mentioned it. One of the biggest ones when we didn't order enough copies on the record. He goes, that's actually a huge mistake.
Sure.
He said it. He's like, it's a fucking huge mistake, and I get it, and I understand it.
That's more money they could have had in their pocket.
He's like, but it was a fucking mistake. He's like, we're in business together. He's like, that happened because it was a mistake. We didn't do it on purpose. Maybe, I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I don't even know who to speculate on that. But maybe somebody underneath Jay who was in control of that did it on purpose because they're like, oh shit, they're gonna outsell ICP. Because
can't have that.
Well, people that work for them are scared of them more than they are. It seems like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like if you think, because imagine if you're an employee at Psychopathic Records, you're like, oh my god, I got my fucking dream job. I'm a juggalo. I've been here 3 years, and you're the guy in charge of the Twiztid album. You're doing the numbers, and you're like. And you're afraid of ICP. You think fucking Violent J's gonna fucking cut your head off and Twiztid outsells them. So you're like, oh, we're just gonna order a couple thousand less, and then all of a sudden you don't have enough copies. Twiztid doesn't sell enough records. Everybody's fucking mad. Twiztid clearly thinks it's ICP's fault because they're the charge. I mean, if something bad happens at M&E, whose fault it is? It's Twiztid's.
Absolutely.
Even if it's, you know what I mean? Even if Mike made a mistake or Dustin made a mistake, it's, you know what I mean? People from the outside are like, Twiztid did this. Twiztid smacked fucking CPN's phone out of his hand. You know what I mean? Like, it's Twiztid's fault.
Jeez.
Like, I'm just saying, anything that happens, it's Twiztid. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, you know, it's actually not, but that's just how people look at it. So if someone at Psychopathic did something wrong, it's ICP's fault. But it really just seemed like, man, and I went, PJ, you obviously watch it. Like, anybody else that watched it, like, it seemed like Violent J was hurt by this situation because he even said, he's like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know anything about it. But then at the same time, he's like, those were my boys. He's like, but these guys now aren't our boys. What they're doing now, they're aliens. I don't know these people. It hurts him. But he doesn't pay attention. He just knows what they tell him. He knows what other people tell him, which is depressing to me. Because I feel like if they all sat down together, like them 4 guys in a fucking room, it would probably be fucking harsh for like 30 minutes. And then they'd probably work it out. And the only person that would be upset about the situation would be fucking Jumpsteady. Yeah, see, like PJ, Joe came across as a human. I felt bad for him. Like, it was weird. Because most of the shit that's going on in the last couple of years, it all has seemed like it was Violent J's fault. You know what I mean? Like, even big, huge, like I love ICP, even though people think we fucking talk bad about them. I'm not talking bad about them because I don't like them. It's because I have so much love and faith in them, and they've been, you know what I mean, like heroes since I was fucking 14 years old.
That's all the 4 of them had to do is literally just like sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's it.
But like you know what I mean? Like and they
can make a fuck ton of money together.
Like, as an outsider watching, it literally just seemed like he was talking about his homies from the past that hurt him.
I'm sure the
only thing he knows now is what people who don't want them together have told him. And you know what I mean? Like, I wish I could just like jump through that screen and been like, they love you too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, they were mad. You guys had a falling out. They wanted to fucking move on. Like, you know what I mean? It was like 2 best friends like got mad over a chick or something, and they didn't talk for a couple years. And then they're like, oh God, who cares about that fucking chick? I love you.
I'm pretty sure
they just haven't got to that point yet. But it's like, it was so weird. Like, I've never seen, like, I've even personally somewhere inside of me, I'm like, it's fucking Joe's fault. He's got the God complex. He can't control. He's so mad that he can't control them anymore, which I still believe some of that a little bit. But he was so personal in this thing. It was like, no, these are my boys and they hurt me. And I'm sure they're still doing awesome things. Like, he was still positive about the shit they're doing because he had so much love for them. And he was like, I love the idea of them starting their own thing and finding new artists and growing the Juggalo world. Even if we weren't a part of it, we were still part of the legacy. Like, he was talking about all this shit. And Joe and Rob's like, let me talk. Nobody likes them. I'm like, shut, God damn it, guy. Like, why? Let them fucking be nice. It's fucking crazy, man. Rob and Joe were that one-way street enmity. And I feel like Shaggy, it was weird to hear Shaggy say anything bad. But I feel like Shaggy's just rolling with his homies. You know what I mean? Like, Jay's his brother for life. There's no... If y'all aren't down, then I guess I'm not down too. You know what I mean? Like, that's his boy. He's sticking with his people. Like he said, they've tried to reach out to me. Like, I'm not part of it. Because you don't have somebody in your ear telling you what to think. That's what I felt like watching this. I don't know if that's true. And I'm sorry if I'm fucking out of line, Rob, but that's what it seemed like. And if it is true, then shut up. You know? What else? They referred to Twiztid and George as runaway brides. I think they just met and ran away.
What about the KG? They mentioned that whole thing.
Yeah.
I was curious to see, hear what happened.
He did an interview, I think, on Fago Lovers, like in the last day or two. I think. I don't know if it was an old one or a new one, but I haven't seen it yet. But basically, they were talking about how KG's always nice, but they'd always heard stories, and then he got into it with God, who was it? He got into it with somebody somebody to gather it over his golf cart. Like, they took his golf cart, they didn't have enough golf carts. And he like got on the thing like every 5 minutes, like, where's my cart? Where's my golf cart? Where's my fucking golf cart? Like, just being annoying. They got in a big ass fight, and then KG got all mad and went home. I was like, fuck this shit. I don't even remember the rest of the story because I didn't care. But basically, they were just saying it was over a golf cart, and KG just got super fucking pissed and started fucking wilding out. And they were just like, all right, I guess we're done with this guy or whatever. I feel like there's more to the story I'm missing. I think I was too concerned. I think my blood was too boiling from everything else. Yeah. So we have with Dean. PJ will tell you. Yeah. He got in a fight with Dean. PJ will tell you. They talked about a bunch of other shit, man. It's a good, like, overall, it was a good thing. There was a lot of things that didn't come up. You know what I mean? Like I said, like pills and shit like that. Someone asked about the Looney Goons. You remember they announced that a couple years ago? There's going to be like a new super group with Light, Ouija, and Hoodoo. Yeah. Essentially, they're saying Hoodoo or Ouija's the only artist that's actually on Psychopathic besides ICP. So they don't know about the Looney Goons. And then he talked about the original idea for Looney Goons, which was Violent J's idea. Those were the beats. Because they said the beats are like old school, like Beastie Boys, like 80s, like boom bap break beats. Mm-hmm. And then the chorus would be like EDM dubstep. Huh. And then the next track would be the opposite. The track would be like EDM dubstep, and then the chorus would switch to like 80s hip hop. And the original idea, he wanted a girl group. 3 like 16 and 17-year-old girls doing tracks over this and wanted to like present it to like the pop world. Huh. And then it turned into taking those beats and making the Looney Goons. Huh. I gotta go pee. I got all excited.
You got all worked up.
My diabetes got all hot.
What are your thoughts, Rue?
I think it's just a bunch of bullshit that it's in the past, leave it in the past. I mean, it's cool that they did a Q&A. That's fine. But why re-energize something that's died?
Yeah, but are they re-energizing it, or are they just answering the questions?
They're not trying to, but the Juggalos are.
Yeah, but the Juggalos are. Yeah, I think they were just answering questions, and then they were talking about the past and all that stuff, and so obviously it comes up, and then we're gonna answer this question that's been voted up, and
yeah, I mean that's fine. That's cool that they did a Q&A, and I mean, were they honest? I didn't listen to it, so I don't really fucking know. But with the way everybody's paying for this shit, they should have been honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds for like the most part they were being honest. At least,
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I just hope that people know and learn that it's in the past and that's where it stays. Not let's try to fucking fire up the other side, or let's fire up both sides and get them talking shit again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's, doesn't strike too many fucking nerves with the main parties.
Right.
I honestly thought about like doing a reaction video to it.
Okay.
But you just see me be like, no, shut up, stop. So there wouldn't really be anything.
It's wrong.
Nothing would come from it. But they said a bunch of things. Like I said, I want everyone to watch it, and a lot of it I liked, like the Violent J, like seeing Jay talk about that, like just unhinged. Not like even the Fago Lovers thing back in the day was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
This was live. So like you literally watched people telling him to shut up. You know what I mean? Like, but like you could see his emotion. Like it wasn't evil. It wasn't anger. It was different. Like PJ said, he seemed human. Like, that you don't normally get that from him. And it was like he was hurt. He's still hurt by it. And it seems like people are keeping him that way, which bothers me even more. I'd rather him be mad for being like, even if he had the wrong idea, it's his idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like it's not his idea. I feel like other people are making it his idea.
That's what it sounds like.
Purely speculation on my part, but that's what it seemed like.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of seems like a puppet master situation.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It was weird. They said a few other things. There was a couple things that I thought were weird. Like they mentioned Lotus and Riders, and he was like, and we had to talk him into that. Which, I don't know about the Lotus thing, but Riders, from my understanding, was Jamie's idea to begin with. It was the East Side.
I mean, Riders. I could see that.
Because he's the one that like raps, like he tries to be the ghetto dude. You know what I mean? Like that's Jamie's thing. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he's always like, I don't know how to say that, but
yeah,
he's like the gangster dude. He's not, but he's like, he always likes to be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was. I don't know. He lived in. I didn't know him when he was a kid. But yeah, it was whatever, man. There's more. Like I know a bunch of people are gonna watch this later, so leave comments. Tell me what your thoughts are. I want to talk to everybody, man, because it's weird talking to yourself about it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do, like when I did Daily Dino, it was on Wednesday, and I did Daily Dino Friday, and I was like, oh, like I want to talk about it so bad, but it's just me talking. I mean, there's people listening, but it's just me, like just talking to myself. I'd rather be talking to you guys, and it's like hear other people's thoughts on it. But I want people to watch it. It's on YouTube. Like everybody's posting the show on YouTube. You guys can watch it without paying for it now. What else did they talk about? Oh, they did kind of diss everyone. They said former artists that leave try to do it on their own, but they're not smart enough. So M&E's their only hope, and then M&E just signs them, so they try to make ICP look bad. Like y'all are just fucking grasping at straws. PJ says, "Wake up, Rue." He's over there.
I am awake.
Playing on Facebook or something. He ain't got time for that.
Oh, I just try talking and you keep talking, so I'm just listening to you talk. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Talk all you want. What else? What did I miss anything? I probably did. They mentioned the gathering. They felt like they were blackmailed for. There's a bunch of weird things that don't connect too. Like they're mad about. You know what I mean? They can't do it without us. But then when they leave, we want them to use our logo. Well, they don't want to. Okay, well, we need you to play the gathering. Well, we don't want to. We want to disconnect ourselves from you guys for a while. Well, what would it take? Our masters. And then they give it to them, and then later on they're like, oh, they blackmailed us for their masters. Like, no, they were trying to prove that you need them. I get it. Like, it's a dick move, but I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't need us? Okay, we won't be there. Well, no, we do need you. Okay, cool. Give us our shit.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Like they said, they try to book big artists. And they're like, they get the fuck you price. Like, so-and-so big, yeah, we'll be there for $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's no way we're going to pay you that. Okay, well, then we won't be there. That's probably what Twiztid did. Like, yeah, we'll be there, give us our masters. And they're like, there's no way they're going to give it. And then they did. We're like, oh, shit, we're going to play the gathering, I guess. Like.
Yeah.
It's a dick move, but I get it. Like, we're trying to leave. Like, even if it was on good news, like, we want to go over here and do our thing.
No, it's fine if you want to fucking leave, but you can't. If they call you and say, "Hey, perform," you don't like money, you don't like to get fucking paid.
Yeah.
You're just gonna tell them no, go fuck themselves. I mean, why would you do that? That's your fan base too. That's kind of a dick move. That's basically saying, "Fuck all my fans, fuck our fans over there."
Twiztid said that.
I mean, basically, kind of. If they told them no, they don't want to play.
I don't know if they said no. They said, "What would it take?" And they said, "Our masters."
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, if they thought that wasn't never going to happen, and it did, and they're like, "Oh fuck."
Well, I don't know if that's what they thought, but
I'm just saying
they did it.
Though,
you can't call it blackmail if they did. It's not.
No, I'm not. I didn't say it was blackmail,
but they did. I'm saying they did.
Right.
They're saying it's blackmail.
But I mean, that's kind of a dick move if they asked you to play the gathering and you turned it down. I mean, that's your fans.
Yeah, but their fans would come to their show the next
Would
day.
they? Because you ain't playing the fucking gathering and you were asked to, and you said fuck off.
Well, then it wouldn't be their fans.
And those are our. How wouldn't it be?
I mean, if you're a fan of, I don't know, Tech Nine is
maybe people couldn't make it. Maybe they saved up because they wanted to go to a gathering and they wanted to see Twiztid and they wanted to see ICP all together in one. And then they go back home and then they don't have enough money to go to the next Twiztid show.
Yeah, but you can't blame that on the artist.
I'm not, but you have fans there, and if you don't want to do it, that's kind of a dick move. You're saying fuck our fans. We don't care. We're gonna stay home that day and not do anything but sit in the studio or watch football or not do a damn thing, whatever. That would be kind of a dick move to shit on your fans because you know that's where you originated from, where all the juggalos think you originated from. That's where you got a name from. So you can't just shit on your fans.
I see what you're saying,
no.
but it's like it's still not their responsibility to play the guy. I get it because the Juggalo world's so different than any other music situation because of the Juggalos. You know what I mean? But if you take it a step back, we're talking about a music festival.
Yeah,
it's ran by a record label that you used to be on.
Name one. They don't. It's not like that. This is the only event.
But I'm saying if you look at it as not as a fan, it's a music festival ran by a record label that you used to be on.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you leave it, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come play it again. This festival that you probably played for free. What does it take? How much does it cost for you to come play it now that you're not with us anymore?" Well, we don't want to be a part of it because not that we don't love the Juggalos, we just don't want to be a part of your record festival. Maybe we'll do our own Attack of the Ninjas, and people will come to our thing.
I get that.
So they're like, well, we need you to be there. It's not a gathering without Twiztid, because you're not important. Before you weren't important enough to care about, but now that we need you, you're important enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
No,
they're
I
like,
get
okay,
it.
if you need us that fucking bad, then give us what we really want. We just started a record label and we have no catalog, but we made 15 years of music on yours.
Right.
Give us a little bit of our music back. So I mean, I get it from both ends.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I mean?
get
Like,
that.
you're a part of this, so you should continue to be a part of it. But then we're trying to get away from this. Let us get away from it. Like, they're both right in that situation. I think there's no right answer. They're both wrong. You know what I mean? They're both right. However you want to look at it.
Look, Young Christ, they ain't second to no one. They already made a song about that.
But yeah.
But they were all on it.
Well, not all of them. Jay was not on
I
it.
thought Jay was on it.
I agree with
It's
you.
just Twiztid and Shaggy.
I agree with Hell House. I agree with that 100%. He says, I really don't get the beef. It just feels like there's a big piece that no one brings up. I feel like everyone should just drop it and at least do business
Absolutely.
together while they're homies or not. I agree. But it does feel like there's
100%.
something. There's this one thing that would make it make sense that nobody talks about or something.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's crazy, man. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys are on YouTube, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're on the website, leave a comment in the comment section. We have to take a quick break because we have a special guest coming up in just a few minutes.
I do agree with that. Asking for MASH is equivalent to asking for $250,000 of year of their life.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's crazy. But now you see, the whole thing is, I mean, it's wild. But like I said, there's no right answer.
No.
You, as an artist, you want your shit. As a label, you want your shit. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
they're both right.
Yeah, I totally get it. Like, they definitely want your shit.
So, but yeah, man, basically it all come down, and from the whole thing, it just came down to like the Young
But they
Wicked
should have
thing
kept
again.
doing gatherings until they got their whole fucking catalog off of fucking
Well,
Psychopathic.
they were. I think that was the plan. They stopped it. The Young Wicked thing is when they're like, all right, we're done with you guys,
Yeah.
because they were gonna get masters for Juggalo Day. When they were gonna do Lotus at Juggalo Day, that's
Yeah.
where the Blaze 1 Less G vinyl came from, and Most Tasteless. They were already made, which is why they came in free boxes later, because they didn't have the rights to them.
Right.
Purely speculation. But we're gonna take a break. If you're on YouTube, man, the fucking YouTube thing's stupid now, and the stream's gonna end. We're gonna be back. There's gonna be a whole new stream popping up just for the Blaze interview. So make sure you guys come hang out with us for Blaze Your Dead Homie. If you want to hear the music break, head on over to repliconradio.com. If you're listening to the replay, that's available on all streaming platforms. None of this matters to you, and you're just gonna hear some dope music, and we'll be right back.